Capricorn, what is up with that peaceful, easy feeling? Every time I meditate on your guys' reading, it just like washes over me. I feel like I'm in like a salon getting my hair did or my foot washed, something like that. It's just like, wow, it's almost like detoxing type energy. It's been really awesome. I want to welcome you all anyways to this, your September general reading 2017 for Capricorn. Okay, Tara, this is general reading Capricorn, September 2017. Thanks for all being here in this moment of space and time. I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope you're having the most awesome travels, most good journeys, and being most excellent to one another. I wanted to switch things up here a little bit this month for the general readings. We're going to be dividing the video into two readings. The first one's just going to be a mundane, very generic, very basic reading, where it's like that if you knew the meanings of the cards, you could do this reading sort of thing. It's the real nitty-gritty of tarot. This is what's happening on the 9 to 5. All right? These cards are coming out. I guess we'll leave them face up. For the other signs, I've been doing them. When they come face up, they come face up. And when they come face down, face down. It's been pretty good. Everybody's comments have been super excellent. Everybody's been super supportive and positive of this little channel in the 6 months it's been going. But 3,700 very intelligent subscribers. So I want to thank you guys for all being here and being a part of it. Second half of the video is going to be messages for the spiritually awake or the spiritually awakened, more enlightened portion of it. These will be like intangible, sort of etheric, more esoteric type portions of the reading. Okay, you guys? So that's what's going on. And also I wanted to let you know if you're born on a cusp, say you're like born like closer to Sagittarius or maybe Aquarius, I'm releasing a series of cusp videos now for all 12 of the cusp babies around the zodiac sign as well. They'll be shorter. What we're doing with those is we're like taking the oracle cards, the carryovers from the general readings, and then we're putting them together in the cusp readings for just a short, like 5-10 minute little readings, so that people in the cusps aren't feeling like left out or left behind. You guys got two cards up there in the old hopes and fears category. I'm throwing out Celtic Cross because I haven't done these in so long, and if we're just looking at like plain old Jane old type situations, why not do it in a Celtic Cross, right? It's the way they've always done it. Energy at the bottom of the deck, you guys, 6 of Swords. So maybe this peaceful, easy feeling is right here. Maybe this is an undercurrent of your sign in general, because this is a card that means like things are moving to a point of more stability. There's more security that's coming, or at least new thought patterns, new thought forms that are leading to a more secure version of you. Okay, this is the subconscious pushing through, just telling you it's going to be okay. You're on the right path, sort of thing. And don't worry if you can't see it right now. It is there. And like you have to be willing to sort of acknowledge where you've come from to see how far you've been sometimes, okay? Just a little added message with this card. So whatever your query, whatever your intention that you set on the reading is, this is what's coming forward now. You guys have 5 of Wands, all right? Now, I don't want any flack over how I flip the cards or whether they come up positive or reverse. Okay, you guys are actually pretty good about it. But, with these new generals that I'm doing, I'm sure I'm going to hear about it because there's people that just swear that tarot has to be the same way it was 900 years ago. And maybe I was around 900 years ago and I say, you know what, we're improving the situation. So it's just the way I read. Okay, 5 of Wands, so conflict. You guys are dealing with some situation where there's competition and even some infighting, arguing, and even some like bickering going on around you at this time. That either involves you or that you are trying to be like pulled into, other people trying to get you to be a part of it. So for you, Capricorn, with that peaceful, easy feeling, the feeling I have is some people might be almost envious to you to the point where they're trying to get you off your game. You could have feelings that you're going to have to watch for like subtle manipulations from people. And then from the other side of things, you're going to have to actually watch from blatantly being pushed around. So if you find yourself in a defensive position, that's okay, because it's kind of like the subconscious is protecting you from, other people's like sort of bad interpersonal habits, I feel, with this card coming up overall. So whatever your fight is, whatever your discussion is, what is challenging you is kind of like how you address it from an emotional standpoint, because we have the Page of Cups crossing this 5 of Wands. And that means like when you do have an altercation or an incident or just like something that happens like with somebody that's, maybe it leaves a bad taste, the Page of Cups is like asking, Like the challenge is, how do you react? Are you reacting emotionally? Are you being reactive rather than proactive? And how do you feel about the position that people put you in through their words, through their actions, or through the things they don't say, or through the things that they don't do? How do you feel about that? And it's kind of like the Page of Cups is saying, for some of you that are coming of age especially, it's going to be like a situation where it's like, can you rise above the nitty gritty? Can you just be like blatantly, like, just tell yourself, all right, that was uncalled for. That person is a dangus, and, you know, I forgive them for they know not what they do, and I'm not going to let it bother me. Or do you, like, stew in it? Do you just, like, stir the cauldron and be like, he called me fat, or he did whatever it might be, and then you just stir that stew, and it's just like, oh my God, you mull it over and over and over again, to the point where your emotions, like, you could be finding yourself breaking down at, like, little things, like maybe crying over spilt milk sort of thing, with those cards up that way, all right? What's crowning this situation is Queen of Swords. So in your environment, or somebody that has some position of authority or control, perhaps over you or over the situations around you at this time, is an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra. And this is somebody who is probably not listening at present time. This is somebody that's sort of quick to react, quick to judge, and quick to like sort of like hit delete or something like that, where it's just like, if it's not jiving with them, you might as well not even exist. You might as well not even be there. So if you have a lot of those air signs in your charts, you might want to kind of make sure that you're kind of balanced in your thinking versus what you're feeling, and that you're remaining open to other people right now. But the feeling I have, seeing that this is crowning you, this Queen of Swords is just saying, like, you're probably dealing with some real I gotta keep it PG, with some really like how can I say this, like, keeping PG but yet still driving home the message of like how much of a bitch this person is. Okay, that word's still in the Oxford Dictionary. I can use that word. All right, now what you're bringing past is the Lover's card. So you're kind of like, there's things that you're applying in your interpersonal relationships. I feel you may be looking at your loyalties, evaluating your loyalties, and how whatever situation or whatever conflicts or situations you're in, you're kind of like questioning loyalty at this time, I feel. And it's also, you're kind of at a disadvantage, I feel, when it's like, it's almost like you're too caring, you're too willing to sort of stay the course sometimes, where it's like clearly people and things are pushing you away, but you're like almost so compassionate, I feel, in your grounded nature, Capricorn, that you can't like really process it too quickly, to the point where it's just like, oh, well, I'm here now, I might as well stay, I'll just put up with it, that sort of thing. Now, for others with you, this is a caring relationship, this is caring memories, or this is just your compassionate self that you are bringing forward into this situation. The Lover's card coming in through from past energies is good to have. It just shows here like an open mind and hope in the heart are going to be key attributes within yourself to be relied upon at this time. Okay? Now, grounding the situation. Ouch. Betrayal, anguish, heartache, misery, that sort of thing, even to the point of infidelity and cheating. Three of Swords is that card. Now, it's the undercurrent. So this is your subconscious. Some of you may be still in a longer healing process of whatever that might be you're bringing forward through trust issues in a relationship, accusations, things of that nature, assumptions, things of that nature. And this Three of Swords being in the undercurrent, it's almost like, I feel like you're not really able to heal from this relationship with this air sign for a lot of you, where it's just like you kind of need to put yourself first, where when you maybe haven't been, you're giving too much credence to the life of the relationship or what you've created, or, you know, the fact that you like almost unwilling to let go because the wasted time means more to you than maybe the actual jerkwad that was, was it Jerkazoids? There's a DJ on the radio that I love. There's the actual Jerkazoid that's been doing that to you, okay? So, if they mean a lot to you, I'm sorry for like belittling, but they've been acting like a real jerk is the feeling that I have with this situation. And it's like you're not really able to heal yourself from it because your place of compassion is so overflowing right now feel you're one of these signs with sun that's moved into Virgo, where it's like the compassion and the emotion is overflowing, and it's like it's not allowing you to really think straight at this time. And we got that in the challenge card, okay? So let's keep going. In the near future, be careful. There's a warning here. Big warning, Capricorn. Don't stew. Don't stir that pot. Don't lay awake at night thinking about all your problems. You have to know that you're going to be okay. You have to know that no matter what the situation is, no matter whether or not you can see it right now, that you're going to be okay. Just look at where you've come and the mistakes that you've made. Take your lumps and move on, because until you can be at a point of acceptance with the way things are, the way they are, and the intangible things that you cannot change, or whatever bridges that cannot be crossed back over, they exist. They're real. So what can you do? You can't, like, it's impossible to make mountains out of molehills at that time, and there is risk of you trying to do this in your mind. Like, whatever this all comes back to this central issue of when you are hurt, how are you able to cut it out of your life, to crown it, to like say it has no power over you, and just move on, move forward. A lot of you are going to really struggle with this, I feel, and some of you will be champions of it, okay? This is a warning in the near future. This doesn't have to be your fate. I'm interested to see what's coming up here, but near future, there could be some of this anguish. This is a real dirty type stuff here. I have a feeling there could be situations, a domestic situation where police are involved as well, again, with that. Okay. Now, in the environment, Ace of Pentacles. All right, career. Maybe some of you are looking at a situation where you might be choosing between a relationship and a career move and a career change. Others of you, this situation is you could be in a new job and you're feeling overwhelmed. You don't know how to feel about it. You got a bitchy boss, and maybe somebody's feeling betrayed because you quit and left and took another job. Simple, right? Mundane tarot. It's so like, okay, what we got here? Best path to follow. 9 of Cups reversed. And this is really interesting. Your best path to follow is don't be too, what's the word I'm thinking for? The image I have is like, don't be too willing to lend yourself to the idea that you cannot have, or you cannot be the best version of yourself. If somebody's got their foot on your throat, you gotta push that off. If the mop's not cleaning up the floor, sometimes you gotta get down there with the toothbrush and scrub the heck out of it. And if that toothbrush isn't working, you gotta throw it down and just be like, I'm not gonna take this. These floors are dirty as hell, and I'm not gonna take it anymore. That kind of thing. Don't lend yourself to situations that are not working. All right? Best path to follow. Thanks, Daffy. All right, here we go. The Tower and the Two of Wands up in your hopes and fears. So you, fearing that you're not going to be able to manifest whatever it is that you need to do in order to make the move or to start the new chapter in your life. This is the hope and the fear. The hope is that false things around you will be revealed. But the fear is that maybe it's not going to happen. Your reliance on your universe, or the reliance on your inaction to make that happen, may not have enough oomph to make that happen, so to speak. So when we see Tower and Two of Wands reversed, we'd like to see Tower with Two of Wands like this. It's just saying, you got the power to push this tower over. You have the power to be on the right side of it when it falls. And this Two of Wands is saying, hopes and fears, if you want this to be a hope rather than a fear, make sure you're on the right side of whatever it is around you that is false, that is crumbling, all right? Now, the overall outcome, if nothing changes as well, if nothing changes, secrets are going to remain. These assumptions, these things are going to continue to nag at you, to dog you. So you have to, these tarot reading is saying you have to effectively make a change. You have to effectively do something. And whatever that is that you need to do, it needs to come to a place where you're awake and you're realizing where you want to go and where you have been already. All right? Mundane tarot. That's Capricorn. That's pretty heavy. That's pretty heavy stuff. And, it's okay. Like, we always ask for healing messages on this channel, or that's at least my intention when I go into these readings, is for healing. It's like, you know what, if you want to find out about if your lover's coming back, or, if you're going to get a promotion at work, it's like, yeah, maybe. We had Ace of Pentacles. Like, who knows, right? But the messages here are for healing, and we can get them out that way. So if that information didn't touch you, stay tuned for the awakened messages that are coming now. This is the Oracle card of wisdom for that. And as well, If that message did apply to you, let me know. Leave a comment, right? These are kind of new to me, just giving it like nitty gritty like that, the way I used to, or was doing back in February. And then, anyways, I'll stop blathering. Come to the edge. This is your wisdom advice now from Wisdom of the Oracle. All right. So whatever you're doing here, it's almost like you have to stand on the cliff's edge so that you can have the best view of how far down it actually is. You have to be able to embrace the uncertainty, which you could be unnecessarily fearing at that time, because what is over the edge may only be like a 2-foot drop. You might even be easily able just to step off it, all right? The picture doesn't indicate that, but the message in this card is, it's like, if you can't see what's over the ledge, why the heck would you be afraid of it? And if you never look over there, you're never going to know, sort of see. So the wisdom in this card is saying, sometimes you just have to swallow your fear, swallow your pride, step up and have a good long look, whether it's at yourself or your situation, so that you can get a better view of it. And if you're at a point where it's like you fully understand what is going on, well, then maybe you need to enter into a mind frame or a thought pattern where it's like you're going to embrace it, or you're going to challenge it on a level that you normally wouldn't have, so that you can have a different outcome. You don't have to live with that Nine of Swords or that Tower type energy, okay? That's the main thing. Or see, sorry, I didn't talk about this, right? Things are going to be remaining secretive. They're going to remain unknown unless you come to the edge, all right? Now, there is carryover between the two readings. That's why I didn't divide them. Now, direction. Which way to the edge? That's what we're going to ask Compass. So again, while I'm shuffling, I'll be Chatty Cathy, and I want to thank you all again for your likes, your subscribes, and especially your comments, you guys. You give me the support and the encouragement I need to keep going. And like I say, I'm happy to have viewers and subscribers that are interactive. They interact with the channel, because I could care less if I had 50, 60,000 subscribers that never talked to me, or I never read or replied to their messages, because, you know, that wouldn't be no fun. It's way better to have like this smaller community of people who are awake that actually, anyways. Okay, we got a card out, and you're here for you as well. Check out the next roundtable video coming up. I think you guys will like it a lot. We're going to be discussing a lot of cool things there. It's a vlog about tarot, and you'll know it'll be published at the same time as these readings. Your direction, magic prayer. Okay, so if you have adversity right now, if you have a situation where it's like you don't feel there's any way around it, or you're feeling subjected or subjugated to somebody else's ego, maybe what we have to do here is just say a magic prayer. Say like, I'm worthy and nothing is going to come along that I can't handle. Whatever's put in my path from source or from the universe is something that is there to help me in one way or another, and you can rise to the occasion. Yeah, rather than come to the edge, I wish this card had said rise to the challenge, rise to the occasion, because with this is the feeling. She's coming up for air very soon. She's not aware of like the fact she's only, again, like maybe 2 inches underneath the surface of the water, and she may feel like she's drowning. But her higher self, her internal, her spirit guides, her angels, they know she's only 2 inches for the surface, and if she would just open her eyes and see, you can come up and have that breath of fresh air, that change, that regeneration, rejuvenation that a lot of you, I feel, are longing for. Okay, so let's take a look into the chakras as we go into that, so we can get a more in-depth view of what's going on for those of you that are inclined to do so, or spiritually awake. Now, I'm not a guru. I'm not one to like give a lesson on to like how to heal your chakras, how to like do any of that. So I just like, for my, look at that card was stuck in there. Is that relevant, right? Around your house. I don't know if that's relevant. That just might be me being a dingus. So we'll get that guy out of there. I'm glad it presented itself. So even though these are the messages that are coming, if you have more interest in like Kundalini awakening or being in touch with your chakra centers, your energy centers, that's a very tricky path, just in that there are a lot of physical attributes, symptoms, and healing that goes on when you do learn to awaken those energy centers, and not everybody is ready for that, okay? So make sure whatever comes out in this portion of the reading, you're taking with a bit of a grain of salt, and that also, like, some of you will be advanced and ready for it. Others of you, I just feel it's kind of like, just be careful when you're meditating, you're getting in touch with those centers, because your whole world will change. Your whole world can change, right? And you may need to go out, seek some help of like some of the spiritual teachers of our time and some of the ascended masters of times ago. Like, like to help you through some of this stuff. All right. I'm just tarot. I'm just giving back. I like to keep it fresh, and this is what I do. So let's start out with you, Capricorn. What's going on with the root chakra? You have the Maiden card up here reversed, okay? So this is you guys really maybe not realizing the liberty that you have right now. I feel like you're feeling constricted, refined. For some of you, this is going to be straight up constipated. I'm sorry for saying it, but you know, I don't sugarcoat it. When I feel what I feel and when I see what I see, I gotta say it, right? It's like zero filter. So the Maiden. So what this constriction, this energy that isn't, is telling me that you're not perceiving that you're as free as you need to be, all right? This is almost kind of like Bambi lost in the woods, like having no idea about how hardcore the environment is, because perhaps they've been a little bit too sheltered. Perhaps they've been too let along. Like maybe your parents were that type that never really let you go and explore to the limits that some of the other kids did. And then, you know, you come of age and then a lot of things you're hearing are just like shock and awe, and you like can't even believe it sort of thing. And like some of you, like it screams naivety to me, and I'm not accusing you of anything. Sometimes it's some of the most blissful states that you can be in are when you are naive, but when it comes to grounding and the root chakra, in order to get this liberated, what we need to do is we need to feel our environment around us with all of our being. We have to know where we're safe and when it's okay to like break out of our shell and, you know, take a journey, take a risk, and take it doesn't even have to be a risk, but even just like go out and feel and experience nature even as well. This card screams of nature. Okay, let's see what's up in the sacral. We've got this what is this, the 10 of Earth, so this is equivalent to 10 of Pentacles in the tarot. This isn't really a traditional tarot. This is like more elemental. And what we see here is I see a longing or wanting. Some of you could be pining over this lover, and it's coming from like a place of like passion, desire, and sex. It's like I'm thinking of that like Bruce Springsteen song where he's like, sometimes it's like someone took a knife, baby, edgy and dull, and cut a 6-inch valley in the middle of my skull. It's like that desire being like a freight train. I'm sorry for the songs, but it's like it had to come, because it's like the desire is overwhelming. This is like almost like you guys are unable to sort of kind of push it away out of your mind and out of the libido at present time is the feeling I have. And this could be somebody that you have built a life together with, or somebody that is very meaningful to you, or very close to you, that, you know, it's either a situation where the relationship didn't reach a level of sexual interaction, but there was like desire on both halves, or at least on one half. And then there was like pining, or like there was like maybe some unfinished business, so to speak. And I'm going to leave it at that, because that's like kind of hardcore. It doesn't sound like 10 of Pentacles energy at all, does it? But the intuitive thing of what came from this picture, it just screams desire, and it screams being able to like sort of free yourself through that sort of, it's almost like you almost need to be a little bit more and promiscuous is a bad word, but like sexually liberated. If you've been in a position where you're just like, maybe you haven't been feeling it for many moons, and then, you know, now it's kind of like you buried it over for a little bit too long, don't be surprised if it comes roaring back here in September for you in the fall. All right, very personal, very, very touching, very touchy feeling. Now we move up to the solar plexus, and what do we got here? A nice balanced two of fire, and this is really good. So this is you being able to see clearly what is going on and how it relates to you. With that mundane reading, there's a lot about you not really understanding how you feel, but your intuition is still firing on all cylinders. Your lower Tao, your gut instinct, is seeing things very quickly, and it's still carrying that Six of Swords energy where it's moving you into a place of stability. So just make sure that your feelings are in check, and you will be able to accomplish anything that you want to, or get yourself through or around any type of situation that comes your way. Now, there's a lot for you to manifest at present time, I feel. There's relationships, there's decisions that need to be made for good or ill, or one way or the other, and only you can make those decisions. Just remember, what we want to do is act from a place of authenticity, where we have our best interest in mind, and we execute it with such precision through our willpower to stay healthy, to stay strong, and to stay true. Okay, that's Two of Fire. Okay, wow, now we've got up an ace of water, and this card is a little bit reversed here. So some of you maybe have hit a dry spell when it comes to your romance, when it comes to your love life, and even when it comes to maybe your level of self-care. We need to find a level of inspiration when we ask ourselves, like, okay, what does this journey mean to us? How can we strengthen our level of love for self so that we don't get caught up in the mundane? We don't get caught up in the 9-5 and other people are having the final say about how we feel about life and our own happiness at the end of the day. We need to get this flipped around where it's like we are our own ever-flowing fountain of joy or happiness. For some of you, this is putting yourself in a position where the demands of life are not detracting from the happiness. So you have to find this intermingling. See how these are braided right here through this? You need to find this level of intermingling between work, responsibility, and play and adventure so that there isn't a duality there anymore. The two become one, and so on and so forth, so that when you're doing something that is like normally you would see it as arduous or painstaking and keeping you from doing the things you want to do, you have to find a way to encourage your mind, your heart, and your body to be at one with that thing that you are doing so that it doesn't feel such a downer, such a bummer, so to speak, okay? That's what I got for that. All right. Now, moving up, wow, we got King of Fire up in the communication. So you guys are going to be able to effectively manage things around you at present time through the spoken word. If you need to put people in your place or tell it how it is, just so other people can like kind of wake up and smell the coffee, or what, I don't know how that saying goes, wake up and smell the roses, you're going to be the one saying this kind of stuff. Sun in Virgo is interesting. People generally have a way of finding the oldest form of themselves and allowing it to sort of like shine through. And some people really like have very little control at this time of year because they're so focused on pushing forward, okay, or completely regressing. Sorry, Mercury's in retrograde, so like regressing is what I want to say, or just finish retrograding, regressing. So with this, your spoken word is going to be key to managing that within yourself and with the people that do have the potential to affect you. Okay, now we've got Three of Water come up here, and this is in the reverse position. And this is in your third eye. There may be a situation where intuitively, there's something going on here intuitively with a friend. This could be a friend of somebody who is like maybe very psychic or very intuitive, or this could be a friend of yours where it's like there's going to be like maybe you guys will be taking a break, or you might find a situation where it's like you may feel like it's time to sort of part ways, or like too much of a good thing sometimes is no longer a good thing, right? Maintain your strength and your bonds and your friendships by creating mutually benefiting, creating space between you so that it's not like an unnerving situation. It's like when you were young, and you remember, some of you maybe are still young and are going through this right now, where it's like you have your BFF or your best friend forever. What do they call it now? Your Bay City Rollers. You're before everybody else, or sorry, I'm a geezer. My age is showing through here. I can't keep up with all this stuff. But your BFF, your best friend forever, and you're like, let's get a place together. Let's live together. Let's move in together. What happens? 6 months, the friendship goes to hell because we can't get over some nitty-gritty little thing, right? So intuitively know when it's time to create separation between you and a friend and a loved one, even if that's a family member, okay? Now, wow, this is kind of cool. This is really cool, actually. This is kind of like a 9 of Fire. Now, this is somebody that has like been there, done that, is fully awake. Capricorn, you guys are one of the oldest, most intelligent, most well-rounded, resourceful, like amazing signs in all the zodiac, right? But this is a time for renewal. The message from Source or Crown Chakra is renewal, renewal, renewal. And this is coming through liberation, through physical liberation. For some of you, it's going to be sexual, but for a lot of you, it's going to be physical liberation, whether it's through diet or connecting with nature, that sort of thing. Regeneration, renewal. Some of you maybe are just long overdue for a relationship, or you might just have to like tell the powers that be that you need a me day, or like maybe like tell them your mental health is just not quite up to par. You need a couple days to figure some stuff out, whatever it might be, so you can find this power of whatever it is in your heart, this new growth that's coming in from the heart chakra, this new love, this new ace of cups that needs to start flowing, this new fountain that needs to start going over. Because even though you're established, you're resourceful, you're hardcore, this is saying sometimes the forest has to burn to the ground in order for the renewal, the regeneration to take place. So if things seem chaotic, amuck, and all like kind of falling down around you with that tower energy you have, just remember renewal, regeneration, regrowth. This is a heavy theme for you, Capricorn. All right, that's what I got. I hope you guys enjoyed these readings. Let me know how you felt about them. Know that I love you all, and we'll see you next time.